Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. Today guys, we are diving into the world of Cardano, taking a look at what's been going on most recently and what we might expect to happen next. As we get into the video, if you find it useful and informative, hit the like button, really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap that bell, select all notifications, it really is appreciated. Right, with all that said, done and out of the way, let's actually jump down into the charts here, take a look at what's going on with ADA and what might happen next. Okay guys, so here we are on our daily, our hourly chart, right? And what we're going to do is we're just not going to really pay too much attention to the bigger time frames. We've seen that 1,000 times over by this point, so we understand where things are likely to go in kind of the longer time frames, right? But let's actually talk about what's going on the here and the now. Okay, what to happen, you know, in the next kind of little while, right? And as you can see, we've got the hourly chart. We've got a lot of information here. I've basically cleaned it up a little bit so you can see some just candlesticks. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through what happened and where we are heading next, because we can see a different trend emerging, right? So the first thing we need to obviously acknowledge is that if we actually grab hold of a trend line, I don't like trend lines because they are so easily invalidated, but you can see there was a downward trend line, right? We can see that here, very, very clear to see. Then we obviously got the breakout from that trend. Okay, so there's a new trend that's formed. I spoke about this a little while ago, a few days. How I'm saying the bigger picture, the weekly chart, looks like it's deviated away from the trend towards $11, and we could see something bigger, but we could also equally see something smaller depending on what continues to happen. Now, this break of a trend, downward trend breaking and now moving up, is indicating to me that actually the bigger time frame we are looking at a more bullish trend. You know, it could potentially take ADA much higher than the $11 range. Okay, so we'll see how that plays out. Once we get a few more weeks down the line, we'll be able to analyze the new trend on the weekly as well. But it's quite clear to see that the downward trend here with the trend line, you know, has been broken, and we've now got a new trend. The downward trend is gone, and we've got an upward trend. Okay, good to see. Now, this downward trend in itself is an impulsive move. So for those who follow the channel, you know that we follow Elliott theory, and basically what we can see here is basically this 1 through 5. Okay, so we can see that there's a 5 impulsive move to the downside. Okay, and we can see this consistently. And there was a little bit of a blip here, but everything moves in waves. So ultimately, what you actually saw in this section was be the same thing as this 5 wave, but on a smaller time scale. So again, you'd probably see something that looked a little bit like this, where we pulled back down into this area, we pulled up for a 4th wave and then down for a 5th, right? So very, very messy, but you get the idea, right? And again, with your 1, your 2, 4, and potentially even 5 here, it's actually a little bit neater to actually just draw in the ABC waves. Okay, now I'm not going to confuse everyone. Basically, there's a bunch of ABCs inside these waves. And that actually takes us down to where we were, right? We reached a bottom. This was the bottom area where Bitcoin also reached, and then we started to get this nice reversal, right? And this is actually a big ABC, right? We can see here that we had our A, we had the B, and then we had the C. And this is something that we were talking about for quite some time. Okay, and we'll basically, once we started to see this, we're like, okay, this is our A wave. We're waiting for that bigger B and that bigger C wave. But inside here, on this kind of smaller time frame, you also have that smaller ABC wave, okay? And basically, you have to make sure that you don't overlap your wave counts, okay? I'm just doing it on one chart like this for simplicity, but basically, this bigger ABC move would potentially be your 4-hourly ABC move. Okay, so you can see it here a lot clearer. 4-hour A, B, and C. On your hourly, on the other hand, you would actually take a look at this slightly differently, and you would actually draw in your ABCs here, your A, B, and C wave. Okay, so just kind of want to highlight that I'm just shortcutting the changing of the chart time frames, so you can kind of see the bigger moves in with the smaller moves as well. Okay, so I'm going to keep it on the hourly just to kind of make it simple for myself, but so you know that the 4-hourly is going to give you a nice, neater kind of approach to what the ABC looks like. Okay, now what's important about this is we saw this A wave, this bigger A wave happen. We know that we were expecting the B wave, right? But where do you actually pull back to? And for that, we can basically just grab hold of our Fibonacci retracement tool, and we can see that we actually retrace just above the 618, just above our orange line here at $1.50, and just below our 50% retracement zone. Okay, so that's quite typical. We would normally be looking for the 618, so a little bit shorter than we actually were hoping to kind of get down to. We're looking for the good support at $1. $1.50, and then we're looking to push up. And then obviously the second problem to have is how high do you actually expect the C wave to go? And for that, we measure the distance of our A wave, we grab the fib, and we move that over to where the bottom of our B wave went. And we can see that we went right up onto the nose. It's usually a 1-for-1. We actually overextended a little bit here. Game can happen. Again, this actually completes a smaller ABC move. Okay, and you can kind of see it here. We had the A, the B, and the C. Okay, pull that down a little bit there. Okay, so you had the ABC inside that C wave to the upside as well. Okay, and that completed that bigger C wave. Now, depending on where we get to, hopefully that all made sense and we can kind of follow what's going on here. We measured the distance of A, we put that onto the low of B, that measured out where we'd expect C to go to. If we actually went up to this yellow line and above this yellow line, that would actually turn this ABC into a 1 through 5. So we would have potentially had seen a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? An impulsive move rather than just corrective. Okay, so we can see that actually we're still tracking nicely on that front, and it's not impulsive. Okay, and this is also confirmed. I mean, you could argue that it is, but if we do drop down any lower, then it's definitely not impulsive. Basically, wave 4 would not be able to cross wave 1. So if I quickly remove that A wave there in the ABC, what we'd have is we'd have wave 1 just coming up to here, wave 2, which would be down here, wave 3 would be up here, and wave 4 just here. And as you can see, we're just above wave 1 right now. If it goes any lower than wave 1, you can definitely say it's not impulsive. Okay, and then you'd go up for a 5. Now, I don't think this is something that we're following because we didn't actually get the trigger above that $1.83 area to say that it's impulsive. Okay, yes, the candlesticks, they look very impulsive moves, good surge to the upside, but we haven't actually seen that actual trigger point. Okay, so I'm more keen to kind of leave this as an ABC wave for now, wave count, so we'll just leave that on there, right? And now this is important because, again, if we actually go ahead and go out into our 8-hourly time frame, we could argue that this is a big A wave, okay? And this is where people kind of get very confused. Like I said, we have to have different wave counts on different time frames. So here would be our A wave. We're looking for a B wave, and then we'll be looking for a C wave. Okay, so then if I actually just go ahead and remove our old Fibonacci retracement and go ahead and put another one on, we'll be looking for a retracement zone to occur. We'll be looking to, again, pull back down just into this slightly lower area, not as low as our B wave previously, but again, looking somewhere between the $1.58 and our $1.54 area. If we can get a retracement to that point, that would be a comfortable B, and then we'll be surging up for a larger C wave, right? Again, this is a larger time frame, okay? And here you can see that we are overbought on this larger time frame. Therefore, the expectation to pull back before we surge up is something that we should be acknowledging and expecting, okay? But obviously on the smaller time frames, we are looking for a surge up, right? Okay, so we're oversold. Okay, so it's important that we acknowledge where we are on the different time frames and what's going on, right? So ultimately, we'll be looking for a slow pullback over the next few days, because that's what it'll take. It'll take quite some time, okay? And then a surge to the upside, a real big surge to the upside, taking us back above that 618 area of the main Fibonacci chart on the daily chart. Okay, so again, sticking to the pattern here, we can see that this will be an ABC move. And so what we'd have is this A wave down, a B wave up, which is in line with our hourly chart, and then a C wave down, completing that B wave. And then from there, we'll be looking for a big A wave up, a B wave down, and a C wave up, okay? And again, we'd have to measure those things closer to the time. So ultimately, the shift in the change in the trend is actually looking very good for Cardano right now. We've got good kind of expectations of how this bull run is shaping out over the next few weeks. We can see that this is not going to be a quick journey to completion, but it's good to see that there's a potential big ABC move going on here on the larger time frames. It's good to also see that our 4-hourly chart is looking very good with this completion of an ABC, and again, you know, we're looking for that bigger move as well. As we come down into our hourly, it's good to see this correction come in here. We'll be looking for a push back to the upside before pulling back a little bit lower, where we then expect to start to see the next A wave start to emerge. So overall, Cardano is looking very good. It's good to see the shift in the change in the trend. Lots of things kind of going on here. Don't want to confuse people too much, but if you are ever in doubt, just zoom out to the weekly. It's where everything kind of makes a lot more sense. Now, obviously, if you do lose support anywhere, then do expect the price to fall back. And of course, if the support holds, then everything I've spoken about should hopefully kind of follow that kind of pattern that allows us to see good traction towards the higher area of our 618. That would be $1.90. So everything for Cardano is looking very, very good, guys. So I just wanted to kind of give you a brief update on what I'm seeing inside the Cardano ADA charts. Hopefully you found it useful, maybe even informative. If you have, hit the like button. Really do appreciate that. If you're new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap that bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. With this said, done, and out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.